to another episode of the Rangers Talk podcast, and we finally have an episode coming to you guys after a 3-week break. Everyone's been busy. Summer's been the summer. I was on vacation in Winnipeg, so there was that. Nothing I could have done. What do you expect me to do? Live stream from the frozen lakes in Winnipeg wasn't going to happen. But what'd you say?
Can't do it.
Yeah, no, can't do it. Lucky enough if I get any sort of connection there. I was lucky I got home in general. So, but we're back, and then I'm going on vacation in another week. So everything's chaotic. Football's coming back, but we are finally in the month where hockey returns, even though it's only preseason action. We're fucking lunatics. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch preseason hockey.
Absolutely,
we will be there. We will be there for the $70 preseason tickets.
Oh my gosh.
Which is absurd. I'm waiting for them to drop, but like, come on, Dylan. Yeah. What are we doing charging $70 for the preseason?
We already know. That's probably more than honestly a regular season game at least half NHL arenas, to be honest. Absurd.
That's more than regular season games were just. Yeah, exactly. And that was more than regular season games were just 2-3 seasons ago for the Rangers. So I don't understand why they think they have the audacity to charge that much for tickets. I get it. You went to the conference finals. You fluked your way to it 2 years ago now. But let's pump the brakes a bit. But we do have a lot to talk about, so we're not going to waste too much time. Before we jump into it, though, leave a like, subscribe, all of that. Sea Jets might join us soon, and hopefully I could get some new graphics too for when the season starts up. We have a lot to do off stream, and then I also do have to. I may have came up with an idea for an episode in the future, so that's all fair stuff. But just wanted to mention that. And yeah, Luca, this has felt like a painfully long off season. That's what happens when we're back to, and Nico's connection has just been brutal. That's why it took us a while to start, which I do apologize as well. I'm just going to leave that overlay off and just stick with the other one because I don't know how much he's going to be in and out of this live stream because of the fact that his connection has just been brutal. But yeah, back to a normal summer. First round exit does not help. That just has equated to this being a painfully long off season, unfortunately. And then it just has been a roller coaster too, between Gallant being fired, between what we were freaking out about what the Rangers would do come free agency. So it has just been a roller coaster of emotions and just absolutely just a pain nonstop. And yeah, this offseason, I'm ready for the season already, and I'm absolutely pumped up. But first, we're going to address a number 88 size elephant in the room. We're going to address Patrick Kane first because I feel like that's the thing that has been discussed the most all summer, ever since the end of the season, and especially lately because Arthur Staple recently, in his recent Athletic article, not his most recent one, but the one before that, he was doing standing predictions for the Metro, and then he did bold predictions. And his prediction for the Rangers is that Patrick Kane will return in November. And I'm trying to figure out, Nico and I talk about this off air all the time. We're trying to figure out why some Ranger fans do not want Patrick Kane back, because put this into perspective. If it wasn't Patrick Kane, and the Rangers had the opportunity to go out there and get a guy who at worst is a 50-point pace player for at most $3 million, are you guys saying that the Rangers should not sign that player? Because I think you're out of your mind if you don't want the Rangers to sign that guy. When either way, one, I think Patrick Kane will take less if he stays with the Rangers because he really won't have a choice at that point. And if he likes it so much, he better take less. And then on top of that, I just am trying to understand why Ranger fans do not want him back. If you don't like him as a person, whatever, that's your opinion. But if you're saying that he won't help this hockey team, you're out of your mind. So you're telling me you'd rather the Rangers go out at the trade deadline, give up more assets than needed, when there's a guy on the open market who will come back without giving up a single draft pick, a single prospect, might be willing to come back for even league minimum.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that guy is not worth bringing back when he makes your lineup significantly better, significantly deeper. And I have a counter argument because an idea came into my head, a theory came into my head here, because everybody says to not bring Kane back because the whole argument is Lafrenière and Kakko need to get their minutes. One, there is a world where these two could still get their minutes, assuming one, Kreider ends up being on the third line, or if Lafrenière could actually play the right side. But I don't know. He's too busy playing baseball, so I don't know what he's going to do. So I don't know. We're going to get more on the Lafrenière later because I wanted to go on a rant about him anyway. But regardless, the two of them should get their minutes. And say they get their minutes. Patrick Kane is not going to be ready to come back until November at earliest. By November, the Rangers should have some sort of idea of if Lafrenière and or Kakko could handle those top minutes and if they're good enough. Because if they're not good enough, this team has Stanley Cup aspirations. As much as it would be great for them to succeed and great for them to become the key pieces of the franchise so this team could be a dynasty, my concern right now is for this year. And if those two don't prove it by the time November, December rolls around and Patrick Kane's ready to go and willing to come back, I'm sorry, but I'm slotting Patrick Kane in that lineup without hesitation. Mm-hmm. And I think by then you have enough of a sample size. And again, I have my doubts with Lafrenière to begin with, but I want to hear. I know your thoughts, Nico, but give your thoughts to the people.
Yeah, I got to give my thoughts to the public here. I mean, how could you just not bring back Patrick Kane? Come on. He comes here at the trade deadline, only forces his way here, and he's injured, right? He plays with the injury. We knew he was coming in with it, and he didn't even play that bad. I mean, could we say Patrick Kane play that bad? He did not. I know other people are gonna have their opinions.
The team awful.
Yeah,
should have got a fourth line goon. No.
12 points in 19 games. I think was in the regular season, then 6 points in 7 playoff games. I know, of course. I think is what it was.
Yeah, but no, because somebody on Twitter tried to tell me some of those points don't matter because they were in only. He got like 3 points in one of those playoff games. So apparently, like, it doesn't matter, even though let's not forget who started one of those shifts in games. Let's not forget in game 6 when Vladimir Tarasenko scored that goal, who started that shift. Let's not forget in game 6 who got a good amount of scoring chances to begin with. Kane did not get a point in game 6, but when he had multiple opportunities to either score a goal or he set up plays where he just didn't get credited for a point.
And then on our first power play goal, who created the penalty, breaking in on a breakaway? Patrick Kane. So there was other times in the playoff series, even if he didn't get points, he was contributing. And the guy was literally playing on one hip. If he's healthy, he's going to be cheap. Obviously, if it's still a conversation that he's coming back to the Rangers, he's going to be cheap. So I just do not see any downside of bringing him back at all. Lafrenière and Kakko, as you said, will still get minutes. If Kane comes back, there's a universe where they could be in the top 6, where Kane could also be in the top 6, and everything will be fine. It just, I don't know. I think him coming back healthy will be very interesting. Yep, exactly. You could form that third line if you bring Patrick Kane back.
Either way, this should be the third line because why is Chris Kreider still being forced into the top 6 when he's just not an even strength player? Let him get his minutes on the power play and tip some pucks in and get his points that way and everything. Why is he being forced into the top 6 because he's friends with Mika Zibanejad. No, enough with that nonsense. And then, yeah, exactly. At most, it would be $3.8 million for Wheeler and Kane combined. And combined, they're going to give you, at worst, 100 points probably. But people say no. But
it's a no-go, apparently.
When you put it in that perspective, that's like saying Ranger fans would say no to a 100-point player for $3.8 million. Just let that be the perspective, too. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, because people are saying they need to get a two-way type forward at the deadline. Who is this player? Who are they getting?
Who? Please tell us.
Elias Lindholm?
Yeah,
maybe.
Good luck with that one.
Maybe, but
I would not
one, people are already complaining that Patrick Kane's not going to fit in because of the salary cap. How are you fitting Elias Lindholm in? And two, the Flames might be in a wild card race at that point. You can't just pencil in that Elias Lindholm will be available come deadline day. And by November, we'll have a better idea of what Kakko and Lafrenière are versus what would be available at the deadline. So, not understanding why people are just penciling guys in, and even if it's not Elias Lindholm here, let's for argument's sake look at some of the
one-year deals.
Yeah, let's see.
And this is coming from people who are just begging for Chris Drury to trade for Tarasenko come the 2024 trade deadline. Tarasenko, like, I love Tarasenko, don't get me wrong at all, but it just is so peculiar to me that everyone was begging for Tarasenko to come back, but are just so against Patrick Kane coming back. Like, are we really going to sit here and act like Tarasenko is a better player than Patrick Kane when healthy? You're just lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself if you think that. The numbers.
And you just don't like him as a person, which, again,
that's your opinion. If you don't like Patrick Kane as a person, we're not trying to alter your opinion. But from a pure hockey team standpoint, there's no just argument for it at all, in my opinion.
And who is active in the league that brings more Stanley Cup experience than him?
No. But we bring in Barclay Goodrow because he's got those 2 Stanley Cups under his belt.
Yep, and he contributed so much to those cups. Yep, absolutely.
The hero.
But here are some of the guys that the Rangers could potentially acquire at the deadline or be interested in on non-contending teams. So the top guy would be an RFA, potentially, Elias Pettersson. They are not fitting him into the cap. I would love him, but they would have to give up a king's ransom to get him. It's not happening. Then you have potentially an option, a weird one, but I expect this team to be in second place in their division because I don't think the Atlantic is strong. But say Tampa Bay did have a downfall unexpectedly. Maybe Steven Stamkos finally happens to the Rangers.
Oh, gosh.
But he has a no-move clause anyway, making 8.5, so probably unrealistic. A reunion with Zuccarello, probably unrealistic because Minnesota should make the playoffs. But if you get to the teams that are probably locks to miss the playoffs, you're really... This is a competitive league. You got to dig deep, man. You got to dig deep. I mean, Boston might not be in contention. I would love Jake DeBrusk as an acquisition. I think that would be a very good acquisition if the Rangers... If they don't bring Kane back, I think DeBrusk would be a very good fit for the Rangers. Could play both wings and could give some very good production there. Owen Tippett. Are we getting excited about Owen Tippett?
Is that the next big name?
Plus the Flyers, he's an RFA. The Flyers are probably going to keep him to save their face from trading their franchise player.
Yeah.
Alex Barabanov wouldn't be a bad option, but again, I don't think he's...
not names you can compare. Besides DeBrusk, I do like DeBrusk a lot, but
Roslovic would not be a bad name. That's someone that I would have been interested in the Rangers getting this past deadline. I mean, outside of that, Thomas Novak, that's a guy that they could bring in even with bringing Patrick Kane back. Like, I would like Thomas Novak. He's only making $800K. he's going to be a hot commodity at the deadline with that cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
With how cap strapped teams are, like you just look at the options and there's not much. Like, are the Rangers going to bring in their own demon and Anthony Beauvillier? Like, there's not a lot of options here. And yeah, oh, wow, very good stream. We're gonna have a lot of wow, not good moments on Twitter if Kane comes back, but it just blows my mind when you look at the team on paper if Kane does come back to argue that this team would be worse.
Mm-hmm.
I just
it's mind-boggling, but I don't know. I really just hope the Rangers bring him back because God forbid, how about if Patrick Kane goes to like I don't know, the I'm trying to think of like another team in the East he can possibly go to that or like another top tier team. I can't really see him going to any of those teams, but like let's say he does. How about he goes to the Carolina Hurricanes? I mean, the New Jersey Devils. I would that made me want to throw up saying that Patrick Kane potentially with the Devils, but it's unlikely. But you don't want him to go to like a rival potentially if he somehow did do that. Like you bring him back, your four lines. Like I think it's the best lineup in hockey. Like almost.
Yeah,
I mean, if Lafrenière and Kakko produce, that's like a top tier lineup.
Exactly, and it would be like I just don't understand. Like if they're producing, that also probably would mean Kane would want to come back more on a discount because he sees, hey, the team's taking another step.
Yeah,
look, save me a spot. J.R. Smith on LeBron super team, like he's gonna want that spot saved. So I just don't understand.
And I don't buy that Red Wings stuff from the reporter with 400 followers on Twitter, where everyone's taking that and running with it, acting like he's for sure going to Detroit now. He wants to win a Stanley Cup. You're not going to go win a Stanley Cup in Detroit right now. That's just not realistic. And
no,
he does not want to leave the New York area. He wants to stay out east. That's been said, and we know he wants to be with the New York Rangers under the bright lights, Madison Square Garden. It does not get any better than that. He knows that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of what his priorities are. And I just feel like at this point, like he collected his money. Exactly. I know he has 3 cups.
100 million plus in career earnings.
Yeah, so it's like he could easily retire if he wants to. Mm-hmm. He's playing to win another cup.
Yeah.
I just don't see why fans would not want him back. Also, for the fans, let's say he didn't help the team last year. Are we forgetting who he replaced in the lineup last year? Do you remember? Because I remember. I remember.
Oh, I remember. All right. Does his name go by the initials Jam?
Yeah. He replaced
don't even want to say the name.
Jake Lecision in the lineup, but no, that guy's hurt the team. Didn't help because Jake Lecision was going to be a more valuable asset. But no, instead the Rangers should have traded Brendan Othmann to go get Ivan Barbashev.
Oh yeah,
right. When this team was not going to win a cup regardless of who they got at the deadline because of the fact that not even Connor McDavid could save their 5v5 issues, and not even Connor McDavid could save how much of an idiot Gerard Gallant was. So I just don't understand.
Another topic.
Yeah,
sure we'll talk about.
Oh yeah, that's what I have on the list of conversations. But before we move to the next conversation, is there any free agents that you want the Rangers to target that are left outside of Kane?
There was actually an article I read today, like saying guys they could potentially bring in on a PTO. I was looking at some of the names; they're definitely intriguing. Danton Heinen, unfortunately,
should have been him.
God, you guys know from prior streams we preached for that one. But a name, obviously, another one is Thomas Tatar. I don't know how he's not signed yet. But he would be a very nice add. He's like not too. I mean, he's still below Kane, obviously, but he's my second option for sure. Max Comtois is another good name.
I don't know if he's gonna get signed. Really? One, I didn't really like him to begin with, and two, I don't think he's getting signed because of the whole investigation with Team Canada.
Oh, he's a part of that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's why he's not signed right now. Otherwise, I mean, I don't think he's a great hockey player either way, but he has that over his head. So
Yeah.
because people would probably go for a 24-year-old left winger and take a flyer on him, but he has that
it makes
to
sense.
his name, so that's why he's not signed. Which I completely didn't even I completely forgot about until I saw something about that the other day. But yeah, I mean the
Blake
name
mentioning Phil Kessel in the chat
Phil
too.
Kessel was a name that I was gonna maybe bring up. Phil Kessel,
could be a name. He brings
Broussard,
Cup experience.
bring Broussard back. But Trocheck's
Yeah,
gonna have to take that number 16 off if Broussard comes back. I'm just
100%. Saying. Damn, I don't know. It's like there's some names definitely the Rangers could bring in on PTOs that are intriguing. On the defensive end, I mean, they probably don't need someone for the defense. There's not even many names. Like for forwards, there's still names. Defense, we already know.
could still come back when it's not shot.
Yeah. There's a really simple solution. We don't like mentioning his name on here, Barkley Goodrow. Trade him, sign Tyler Mott for like $2 million less. Have more money for Kane. I don't know. That's just my idea.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention the person that tweeted this because we clown him a lot as a Rangers community, but I will say he actually had a very good point on Twitter the other day. But again, I'm not giving him credit because of usually he's a clown. But the Rangers probably did have a place for trade in place for Barkley Goodrow in case Lafrenière did get offer sheeted and they had the match like a big offer sheet.
Yes.
So also, if you really do want me to give him credit, his name starts with an M. That's as far as I'm going with that. But either way, just trade the guy. Trade the guy. Did we not? What happened to the copycat league? What happened to that? Look what Vegas did. They were ruthless with their players. They didn't care. You're not good? Goodbye. I hope the door hits you on the way out. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like what happened to copycat league activity where Vegas had a we don't give a fuck if you're not good enough or if there's a better shiny toy, we're going to kick you out the door. What happened to the copycat league here that we know and love?
Yes.
Like look at how Vegas just won. Why can't we have that attitude? Barker Goodrow, goodbye. Trouba next offseason. See you later.
Oh, one could hope.
One could hope. And people think I'm crazy for thinking there's a chance next offseason, but might be wishful thinking, but I'm telling you, the Rangers are going to want to open up cap space for next offseason. Because the free agent class...
We talked about this last stream, too. You better create some cap space, Chris Drury. We know the cap's going up, but still going to need to clear some stuff up.
There's a left shot defenseman I really want because...
He was in New York before.
Yeah, and he's pretty good. Probably a top 10 defenseman to play with our other top 10 defensemen instead of having Ryan Lindgren back, but people will probably not be happy that I just said that. But no,
Ryan
like
Lindgren.
they need to open up cap space. If it's not this upcoming offseason, I'm already jumping ahead, which is I know is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love us Ranger fans. We're talking about like years from now, and then Duck fans just like there's nobody talking about the fact that Trevor Zegras doesn't have a contract right now.
I know.
Nobody's talking about that. Like we went.
I didn't realize that until a couple days ago.
We went the whole. Yeah, we went the whole summer without discussing that. What and Rasmus Dahlin getting an extension. The fuck? He was eligible?
Wait, did he end up getting that extension, or was that just rumored? The 8 times 10.5.
Oh, I thought he got it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Cat Friendly doesn't have it, so maybe he didn't. But
I think it was rumored, but yeah, it's probably what he's gonna end up getting, for being honest.
Yeah, it would make sense. So, but yeah, like no one talked about how he's eligible for an extension. Like nobody has talked about some of these, and then there's us where it's like, all right, let's look 2 years from now.
We're
But
looking 2 years down the
looking
line.
2 years from now, the free agent class is freaking stacked, man.
You
Leon
can't help it.
Draisaitl, Mikko Rantanen, Mitch Marner leading the way. How funny would it be if the Rangers brought Crosby in?
Oh my
Or
god.
John Tavares, Claude Giroux, a guy who I desperately wanted at the deadline last year, or the year before now, I guess I have to say.
That prevent the offer though, because apparently we did send an offer for Giroux. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I remember seeing something about that. I don't know if you knew. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
yeah, and I really wish we got him because Andrew Kopp disappeared and quickly and was most definitely a Panarin merchant. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just look ahead. Brock Nelson, that'd be funny too if the Rangers went for him. But Carter Verhaeghe, I don't know if he had a fluke year last year, but Brad Marchand's there. Hey, Pavel Buchnevich could come back, everybody.
Everyone's favorite player.
Travis Konechny, who I would kill for on this team.
Oh yeah, he's just an upgraded Barclay Goodrow. He's what we thought Barclay Goodrow would be, basically.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the year the Rangers are gonna want to open up cap space.
Mhm.
Also, if we really want to look far ahead, I
think
just
another year after that one, might be even
I
better.
I just will say I'll just say one thing if we want to look really far ahead. There is a guy who's a free agent the same year Panarin's contract ends. That guy is Connor McDavid. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying things. But like, and Jason Robertson too. I'm not saying. Just we will be there. That's all I'll say. We will be there.
There's not much more to be said than that. We know Connor McDavid wants a big market team. He's not gonna survive over there in Edmonton. I'm sorry. I feel like the New York Rangers, you clear up cap space, you throw money his way. Connor McDavid. Matt said it here in the chat. All I'm saying is make sure you have your McDavid Ranger jersey in 20 and 26 ready to order.
Oh, I saw someone with a McDavid jersey outside the Garden once. It was great.
I remember
But
it. Yeah.
it really is gonna hinge though on like what Igor gets. I don't know, but I went off the rails. The whole point is just look what Vegas said. Be ruthless if you have to. Trade guys. Trade them if they're not good.
But the Rangers, Dolan going sicko mode and firing Jeff Gordon, John Davidson year after you make a conference final run. Sometimes gotta just be ruthless.
Yeah, and not care about friendships, which is why I'm scared they're gonna keep Lindgren. Are you on team keep Lindgren or?
That contract, what was it? Like the projection, I think was from Staple, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah, it was like
8 years, 4 million, I want to say. Look,
Yeah.
it's not a bad contract. It's not, but the term 8 years is too much. Like, when are the Rangers going to learn dishing out these long-term contracts, 7, 8 years? It's not aging well at all for a guy who does not stay healthy.
That
And
is a Lou Lamoriello contract.
it is. It
That's
really
a
is.
Doug Wilson contract.
That's bad.
That's you know who I would compare that contract to? Although I think Lindgren will be better than this guy has ever been within his contract. And he'll be cheaper anyway. Mark-Edouard Vlasic. Vlasic has never been good. I think Lindgren will give a few years, but everyone compares Girardi, Stahl, but like that long of a contract,
That's brutal.
I wouldn't do it. I would just,
Next thing you know, though,
I would trade Trouba and get Devon Toews.
yeah.
But
I'm scared of that too. They're only going to keep him because of the friendship with Adam Fox, and you don't want to upset your superstar defenseman. But it's a business at the end of the day, and you can't care.
If you win the
You
cup,
just
though,
have
I don't
to-
care.
Yeah,
Then pay him. Fine. I don't care.
yeah.
This thing was held.
The job is finished, and we can go home happy.
Yeah, I'll have extra ink here. The goal has been accomplished. But I'm definitely I'm definitely feeling better going into this season than I was than
Mhm.
12 months ago. I'm definitely feeling better. Obviously, this team's not as good as they were last year at the trade deadline, but this team is not far, but they are significantly better this year going into this year than they were going into last year. I don't
Mhm.
think that's even a debate. Even though Jimmy Vesey was a great surprise, but on paper, like Johnny Brzezinski was going to play every night because we didn't know what Vesey was going to be.
Yeah.
Like Barker Gutro and Sammy Blay were penciled into the top 6 of this team. Just to
Jesus.
give you a perspective of how good Chris Drury did this offseason. So I definitely feel a lot better. And then Patrick Kane maybe coming back. The only unfortunate thing is that I found out recently is that they can't give him the 35-year-old signing bonuses even when he turns 35.
Could
It
they
has to
not?
be the off season after he turns 35,
Oh, okay.
which sucks, but
Oh,
and
I did
changes
not know
things.
that.
But yeah, I didn't know that either until someone mentioned it. But uh, which
It's
might
not
change the
gonna.
game.
Yeah, I could change it, but whatever. Like an extra $1 million in incentives to Patrick freaking Kane is not like really a difference if we're being honest in the grand scheme of things, but definitely could hurt a bit. But we're gonna have to just wait and see. It's gonna be a waiting game here for a while.
Yeah, I. Uh, I'm fine with the waiting. I'm fine. If Kane's out longer, listen, I'd love for him to jump into the lineup and come back and make an impact immediately. But at the same time, let him get extra healthy.
Hmm.
And at the same time, see what else you have in this team. Like I, I'm fine with them waiting extra longer to bring Kane back if they're going to. And I just want to answer this question in the chat. I have no idea.
Mm.
Um, that would be that would be another scenario where it's like that's another best case scenario moment because I really would love it if the Rangers could finally have a scenario where they don't have to, which is another reason why I'm a huge advocate for bringing Kane back, is that I'd love it if we could go to a deadline where the Rangers at most are giving up like third round picks just to get like fill out some depth. Go get
Hmm.
a fourth liner that you need. Go get an extra defenseman. Go get another goalie if you need. Like I don't know. I'm just spitballing things. I don't know what things will look like in a few months from now come the deadline, but Othman being good or jumping into the lineup would be huge. I think there's a chance he gets games this year. I think there's a chance,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't. I'm gonna say on the safer side to not get anyone too optimistic and say that chances are lower that he doesn't play a game this year than he does. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did play at least a game.
Yeah, like they gave Will Cully a couple opportunities last year,
Yeah,
in the NHL, so I don't see a reason why you don't give Othman some looks. The Rangers, look, they have a lot of depth on their team. They do. They signed a lot of depth this offseason. Chris Girard dishing out those almost league minimum contracts. You have guys like Brodzinski as well. And your system, Jake Lecision. Hopefully, I don't have to see him play another game for my favorite hockey team, but he's another piece that they probably consider to bring up for a game or two, bearing an injury. So I would love to see it, but yeah, I wouldn't count on it, as you said.
yeah. I think Coley, which you asked about in chat here, I'm going to talk about him. I think Will Coley has the best chance of making the team out of any prospect on the team. I think Coley has the best chance of making the roster. And the reason I say that is because of the fact that, well, one, it's going to be tough regardless because of the competition between them bringing Riley Nash and Belzile, which for once, there's a good problem to talk about here. Brzezinski still in the organization and then Pitlick being here. But in a worst case scenario, if all those guys disappoint, or if Coley is just so good in preseason and training camp that he just slots into the lineup, that'd be great. I think he has the best chance out of any of them. Like out of any prospect, I think Will Culley gets the most games out of any Ranger
Yes.
prospect this year. Outside of if you still want to consider Zach Jones a prospect.
Zach Jones, yeah, he's another name too. I actually been preaching for him to do the same thing they did with Niels Lundqvist and trade
Yeah,
him
I want them.
once
I
we.
want them to trade him at this point.
Yeah, there's really just no spot for him on defense. We already have our setting guys, and then even like it's just not there's not a spot for him, plain and simple. Get a high draft pick, but going back to Will Culley, I think you're completely right because they're not going to stick a guy like Offman probably like on the fourth line. That's just not going to happen. They have too many just wingers that are on this team that are not gonna, just go down the line. Kreider, Lafrenière, Panarin, Wheeler. You got Kako. If you bring back Kane, there's just a plethora of like these top nine wingers. It's gonna be tough for Othman to really find himself a spot. So I think Will Culley, if you're having trouble like with Bonino or Pillick on that fourth line, you slot in Will Culley, and he makes an immediate impact for you. So I think I agree, he has the best shot, and really want him to just be up here and succeed because, man, and oh man, it's been a while since we've had a forward prospect that's just lived up to expectation. I know he's going to be a fourth line. He's not going to give you friggin' 60 plus points, but just to do your job, be like that Tyler Mott that we all adore in the fan base, and like play that type of style of game, it's just gonna be more than good enough.
Yeah, that's what I expect from him, and I would love it if Othman did make the roster because right now I really, which is a whole reason that we've been talking about Kane nonstop and at nauseum, is because I feel there's still a hole in the top nine
Exactly.
because I don't want VC, Goudreau, or Pitlick there in the top nine. I really would love it if Othman is that guy and ends up breaking and making the team out of camp and out of preseason. But I'm also on the side where it's like I'd rather just let him over marinate. Just
Hmm.
let him over marinate and let him start in the AHL and work his way up because I just don't want a scenario where one, they rush him, and two, I don't want there to be a scenario where he's up in the NHL, he's acclimated to the NHL, and then all of a sudden he gets sent down and he's like, what the fuck? I don't want to be in Hartford.
We don't
And
need
he
Vitaly
doesn't accept the
Kravtsov
demotion.
2.0.
Like, yeah, because I, I'm just tired of seeing scenarios like that. So I'd love it if Hoffman made the team, but I just don't think he's going to make it, unfortunately. But prove me wrong. He looked good last year in preseason. He really did. But I would say the guy to look out for most, which was a conversation that I wanted to get to earlier or later on in the episode anyway, is who we think is going to be the surprise of preseason or who we should look out for most. I think Will Culley's the guy. I
Mm.
really do. Do you guys have any guy that you're looking out for most in preseason?
Mm. Um, Preseason, I would say I think Will Culley's a really good pick, but if I had to go elsewhere, like, are we assuming like out of like guys we haven't really seen, or
Um,
just
if you want to go with a guy that, like, you could go with either a guy that you think will just be really good in preseason, might barely make the team or might not make the team, or a guy that like you just are a prospect that you think is under the radar that you think we should really
mm,
keep an eye on come preseason.
gotcha.
Like you could go with anyone. It doesn't matter.
Um,
And if you want to go for a roster guy, and if we were to throw a roster guy out there, I'm just saying Philip Heedle this year.
yeah,
I'm
Philip
banging the
Beetle
Heedle
to
drum
the
like
moon
crazy,
on
but
Philip Beetle.
I'm gonna talk more about Philip Heedle later.
Ah man, I'm trying to think of a name that
Sakura's a good shout from people in
Adam
chat.
Sikora. That's a very good one. I'm always intrigued by Zach Jones. He's obviously probably going to get the looks in preseason. I sure as hell think Eric Gustafson deserves and will get the final 16-man spot, but I mean, he's really got that chip on his shoulder. He got that new 2-year contract, and if that doesn't go over well, he's gonna have himself a lot of trouble in the league.
He's gonna
So I
have
think,
to learn Chinese because
yeah,
this
pretty
is
much.
this is put up or shut up time for Zach Jones because
It is.
if he doesn't wow the Rangers in preseason, he's getting traded.
That's exactly what it is gonna be. So he's one I'm intrigued by. Will Cully, as you said. Uh, Adam Sykor is a good one too. I think those are three names you're really gonna have to watch out for. And as for our roster guy, Lafrenière, of course. We'll see how he does after receiving that new 2-year contract. And I mean, this is really it for Lafrenière, like going to M. Elliot Friedman said it's basically like a 1-year deal here. If he disappoints again, the Rangers are gonna move on. So he better come in and have just all the motivation in the world to have a good season this year because there's no other option. There really isn't if the Rangers want to have success.
Yeah. We'll get more to that later, but yeah, Lafreniere's another one where it's like it's put up or shut up for him. But Nick, who's your preseason guy? Who are you screaming at the TV for? Who are you watching your overtime reactions for?
So when I'm throwing TV remotes at my couch, my wall, my windows, this preseason, I've got a handful of guys I'm gonna be shouting at. All right. So I was on Tyler Pitlick last year at the deadline. I wanted him. We got him now, and we got him over Josh Archibald, which is okay. It's okay. I understand.
And Danton Heinen,
and Danton Heinen. So I think Pitlick's, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to keep up with those expectations. But I think for a guy that I think is going to be a happy surprise, I think Pitlick is the roster guy that's going to be a really happy surprise because I do think he's a really effective player. And I think if we're in a system where we have a lot of guys fighting to be in the lineup every single night, which is going to make guys like Pitlick and VC and Bonino and Gaudreau, hopefully Gaudreau, play harder every single night to save their spot, that Pitlick's going to be the really, really happy surprise. On defense, I'm not going with Zach Jones for a defenseman to look out for. I'm not going with Matt Robertson either. I'm actually going with Ty Emberson only because Emberson, like, for a guy that was a throw-in in a Nemeth trade and arguably was the best player on skates in that trade because Patrick Nemeth is just that fucking bad. Ty Emberson had a really good year for Hartford last year. I think he won the Defensive Defenseman of the Year award in the AHL. Was that what he won or something like that? Or in the division, Best Defenseman division? Some weird award, right? It was an award, right? It looks cool. It gets fans of NHL teams a little bit excited. But I think this kid is going to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder because no one's talking about him on the Rangers' depth for defense right now. Because on the left side, you have Robertson and Jones. On the right side, you have Fox, Trouba, Schneider. None of those guys are moving this season.
Hey, Ben Harper exists too.
Fuck me sideways. My bad. Forgot about old Ben Harper. But no, but I think on defense, Ty Emberson could be a sneaky surprise. He's actually not a bad skater. The games I went to when Hartford played against Charlotte last year, I think we saw Emberson one time because I don't think he played in the second game. But Emberson looked really good. Like he didn't do anything bad. Like he was a very safe player. And I think with the older coach like Peter Laviolette, where he typically goes with the safer choices on defense on the bottom pairs, bottom six forward and bottom pair defense. I think Emberson could get games in the NHL this year if he has a good camp. I'm not saying we should expect him to make the roster or anything like that, but I do think we'll see him at some point during this NHL season if he picks up where he left off. At forward, it's a bit of a clusterfuck for me because there's a lot of guys I want to look out for, like a lot. I'll tell you right now, the one I'm looking at that's probably going to start the season at Hartford that I think has the biggest chance of making the NHL team in some capacity is Johnny Brzezinski.
Yep.
Dude, he's 30 years old and he's still getting better and better and better. And I think now more than ever, there's an opportunity for him to be in the NHL lineup. I think he's going to work his bag off. We're going to see more of his offense on top of his defense, hard skating and forechecking. And I think we'll see a more consistent and better Johnny Brzezinski in the preseason. And I guarantee you that he makes it to the last round of cuts. I don't know if he makes it, but I guarantee you he makes it there, especially on a Rangers team that has no friggin' money. Johnny Brzezinski has the lowest cap hit on the entire roster, tied with Turner Elson at $762,500. There's nobody on the roster that has a lower cap hit than him, which is a positive because that extra $12,500, which I think it would take him to get to $775, which is what the other guys are at, is a big difference. I think the trade deadline at 70 or 80 grand. And as we learned with the Patrick Kane situation, every freaking penny counted because an extra $5 grand one day versus another day is the difference between getting Patrick Kane on a literal calendar day. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but I'm saying the Rangers are in a cap crunch now. Those numbers do matter. As for the young guys, I'm curious about Matthew Rempe, because I don't think he did bad last year, and I think his size is attractive. He's 6'7". He's a big ass motherfucker. He actually has decent hands and a decent shot, but his size is what people are going to talk about and want on the team because it's, he's 6'7". Those players like that don't grow on trees. Big dude,
Right.
I think people are going to become obsessed. Right. I think people are going to become obsessed with that. So I think he's going to get a look. I think Edstrom's going to get a look, but I'm not super excited about Edstrom yet. Obviously, Sikora, Cooley, and Othman are the guys everyone wants to talk about. I think who's really slept on is Ryder Korzak. He played 5 games at Hartford last year, got bottom 6 minutes, did so bad that he got sent back to juniors and then it was like 1.5 points a game in juniors. Ryder Korzak has ridiculous hands. He's got a great shot. He works his balls off and he's a good skater. I think if he goes into this camp, not only fighting for a spot in the NHL, because that's what everyone does. You don't go to camp to fucking lose, right? I'm not gonna. If you were going to NHL camp, you're like, oh, I'm going here so I can get a spot in the minors. No, you go there to try to make the team. But I think if he works his ass off and proves himself, he's not going to get a spot on the team. But I think he could sneak his way into a top 6 role in the minors if he does really, really well. And I think he'll turn some heads. You have guys like Brett Berard, who I worry is going to be another Tyroning. Where we're going to get really excited about his juniors production, and then he'll just never pan out in the minors. I hope the opposite happens.
Don't do
but
that.
I have hopes for Berard. I do. I think there's a chance. Carl Henderson is almost a lost cause at this point. We all knew he was going to be a long-term project. Bryce McConnell Barker, I think, is a sneaky pick to make it to the last round of cuts.
I've been
dude.
high on Bryce McConnell Barker. I've been high on. Because of Statboy Steven. Because when I was
about to say, Statboy Steven has been all over this guy.
Yeah, because when I was covering the Patrick Kane saga and streaming every day until the trade freaking happened, I was talking about guys that were my untouchables for Rangers prospects in a trade. And he's like, you didn't mention Bryce McConnell Barker. And I'm like,
you can't.
All right,
dude, this kid's legit. Like last year, and first of all, at 19 years old, his last year in the O show, this kid probably should have been a first-round pick, but had not a so great draft year. His draft year had 49 and 68. This past year on the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, which I think were one of the worst teams of the OHL, he had 30 goals and 77 points in 68 games. And he was the captain of the team. Leader. We love leaders on the Rangers, right? We only get leaders. That's why like 10 guys wear letters. Like I think every player on the roster next year is going to have a fucking letter on their jersey.
Hey, Adam Fox is in the Twitter banner. He might get an A now.
He probably will. And I think the last but not least, certainly not first in foreskin, but last and not least, Bobby Trevino, I think could do well. He's 24. So you want to talk about like this is your Danny Cristo last shot. Here's your last life raft. If you want to make an impact, make yourself noticeable. Because point production wise, he did not do great in Hartford last year. 26 points and 7 goals, 57 games. Not what you want from a guy that had 49 and 20 in 37 games at UMass when he graduated. He needs to have a good camp, or this will be it for him. He'll just be a minor league merchant the rest of his career, or he'll go overseas and do well. Who knows? But this is Trevino's last shot. It's an exciting time to be a Ranger fan because when you're in a cap crunch like this, you can almost guarantee we're going to go with a 22-man roster, which means there's probably going to be 6 or 7 guys, depending on who we PTO, beating the shit out of each other just to be the 13th forward on this roster. And I think that competition is nothing but positive. And I wish we had more guys on PTOs to make that fight even more grueling, because I don't want anybody comfortable on this goddamn roster. We had that problem in the playoffs last year. We had it in years and years and years. The Rangers have guys that are way too comfortable. You need that
going
competition.
Into last year.
I can exhale now.
Going into last year, we had that issue too. And that's what we were talking about earlier, guys that the Rangers should be looking at on PTOs, because there are still plenty of guys left. And I think that the best move is to bring in some veterans, especially. This is why I don't give a shit. Go give both of them PTOs. Derek Brassard and fucking Phil Kessel.
Yes.
Phil Kessel especially. Give him a PTO. Why? Because he's a guy that's been there, done that.
Brassard.
Both of them are, but Phil Kessel's won Stanley Cups, which we know that this organization loves because they're paying Goudreau money just because he's done it.
He's going to get 10 sheets fucking Phil Kessel from the Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. But give him a PTO and really set the tone of what we're expecting here. And with Johnny Brzezinski, I'm definitely high on
all over that train,
on
dude.
Johnny Broadway. I'm high on him, and I think he's gonna be really sneaky, and I'm excited to watch him. I think he wins that roster spot. I really do.
I'd be amazed if he did. I don't think Alex Belzile is beating him out for the 13th spot. And I think Brzezinski poses more of a threat to those guys that are actually in the lineup, being that he's been here for so long and is a proven minor league scorer. I think he's more scary to the players in the lineup than Alex Belzile. That's what I think.
And Riley Nash. Yeah.
I forgot about Riley Nash.
I think he beats out both of them. I do, unless, like I said, Will Cooley just blows the organization's socks off, or Brandon Othman does in preseason and camp. Unless that happens, which, would be friggin' great. But if that happens, then that changes things. But if I don't expect it to happen, I expect them to just over-marinate both of them. So I think that they'll just end up... I think Brzezinski wins it. And with the Emerson thing... when do we talk about the fact that the Rangers, like, outside of them getting Patrick Nemeth out of here and off the books, when do we talk about the Rangers just fleecing that trade? They kind of did a Mets type thing where they bought a prospect with that like, you could look at it as, okay, they got rid of Patrick Nemeth and they used the second round pick to draft Ty Emberson. If Ty Emberson even plays like one game with the Rangers, I call that trade a win easily, because you would take at least a couple games from a second round pick. So I would
all
count
about
it as
games.
a win.
All about games.
Well, those are the preseason guys that we're looking out for. Let us know if we missed any. I'm sure we did, but it's exciting that there's so many guys to talk about. But we still didn't even get to the biggest part of this episode that I wanted to get into, because I'm sure you guys saw my video of the ESPN projections.
Pull it up. Please tell me you could share screen it. Please tell me you could share screen it.
I'm not going to share screen it because we're going to go through this. So what I decided to set up and do, I set up what ESPN has projected for some of the players, and then I set my own over-under instead of just doing this, because let's be honest, if we were doing this, we'd be hammering the over on Chris Kreider easily to get more than
points. Is fucking amazing. He had 37 goals last year, did he not?
I think it was. It was.
Listen, listen. Heaven forbid, knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But maybe they predicting Kreider like getting massively injured or something. Because I'm telling you right now,
they had him playing 70 games though. They projected 70 games.
Okay, so. then this is why I'm still upset that the fucking Rangers, the NHL, sold out to ESPN. What a trash network.
Yeah. And then Blake Wheeler's only getting like 20 points, they said. But I didn't include Blake Wheeler in this one.
What?
Yeah, they think Blake Wheeler gets 9 goals.
What?
Here, wait, let me get the
Stop the fucking... Pull this shit up, dude.
Obviously, they did this for every team, right? I'm intrigued to see. Like,
yeah, they did this for every team. I don't know. They didn't even give
20-something points.
They did us so bad.
Yeah, so here's what they think Wheeler's stat line will be: 9 goals, 18 assists, 27 points in 61 games played.
Why are they projecting so many games?
And they think he gets 5 power play points. By the way, no. This is how bad ESPN is. So Blake Wheeler is getting 27 points, but in 55 games played, by the way, this guy's not getting 55 games played. Connor Mackey's apparently getting 14 points next year.
What? Oh my god, it's fucking
They put Mackey on the roster?
Yes, but
Dude,
Gustafson,
give me the name of the jerk-off that made this fucking... No.
Gustafson didn't get
Gustafson?
a projection. Kako didn't get a projection. Lindgren didn't. Goudreau didn't. Benino
Give me this
didn't.
guy's
Beasley
fucking,
didn't.
give me this
Hitler.
guy's fucking name. Give me his name.
I think outside...
give me his name before I find it.
Outside of Blake Wheeler and Connor Mackey, I think I put everyone else that they did get projections for, and then outside of Kane, of course, because we don't know. But let's just not waste any more time. Let's jump into it. So ESPN's projections for Chris Kreider: 22 goals, 15 assists for 37 points. But here's my over-under. Do you guys think Chris Kreider will be over or under 49.5 points this season? Who wants to start?
Y'all start because I'm looking for this fucking dude right now.
Nico, you go first.
I'm going way up on that. I think he's just Chris Kreider on the power play alone, giving us insane production. I think he potted obviously 50 plus 20, 21, 22, give us high 30s. Last year, I think this year he goes for like mid 30s again, gives you like 30 assists. I'm thinking Chris Kreider way over on that. I think he puts up around 60 points.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm going over also. I think that I know the Rangers have been power play merchants over the past few years, but I think the power play gets better with the new coaching staff. I think Mike Kelly was an idiot. I mean, the entire coaching staff was a fraud staff, which we'll talk more about later on. But yeah, I think Chris Kreider, and I think he'll be better at even strength than he's been over the past few years. I think he gets over. I think he gets 55, though. I think 55 is my prediction for him. Nick, what do you think?
I can't. This guy's so lucky I can't find him. Okay, anyways. I got distracted.
We'll get it eventually.
What a fucking moron. What an ass. Look.
We might have the Sens part 2. Sens
we might have us continuing the study part 2.
I'm gonna keep my cool.
You really studied these point projections.
My girlfriend's on the phone with her mom, and I'm gonna behave right now. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm gonna be very calm. Maybe he must have just forgotten the second overall pick. He must have just forgotten one of the 3 big acquisitions we made in the offseason. He must have just forgotten. He's only getting paid to write about the fucking NHL, and he only forgot
back in a minute.
The highly touted second overall pick that's going into year 5. Already forgot about him, and I'm done. 49.5 for Kreider. Yeah, I'm taking the over. I'll go. What a fucking jerk off! I gotta find out who this fucking guy is. I'm sure he didn't get the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm sure he got all their fucking players, all their call-ups, their backup goalie, their third string, their coach, their power play. They got all that. We can't get the second overall pick of the Rangers. Let's go. Hold on. Let's go over. Let's go over. Let's go 25 goals and 58 points. What a fucking ass.
25 goals and 58 points.
I'm taking the under on. I'm taking a low goal scoring season for Kreider because I think guys like Hedl are going to take such a big step that there's just. Because listen, like unfortunately with the NHL, goals don't keep going up and up and up and up. You typically the goals per game will stay pretty consistent throughout the team. There's in quote even distribution season to season, and I think Philip Hedl is specifically a player I think is going to take a huge jump and is going to be taking some of those goals away from Kreider, especially if he's getting power play time. Because I think it's possible, especially if Kane does not come back, that Philip Hedl could be on the right side on power play unit 1 because of his hard shot. If it's not going to be Hedl, I think it'll be Kako, and I think those could be the guys, the lefty on power play unit number 1. Is this guy being serious? Dude projected. Oh, okay. So probably. I was like, dude, if that's actually the case, I am really going to find out who this guy is, and his mentions are going to be fucked. I got to find out who this guy is. I'm stalking Evan's Twitter right now so I can find out who this dude is. I need to see this so I can see everything else this fucking ass goblin put down. I am so invested in this right now, dude. I'm obsessing it. Yeah. I am obsessing over this man's article like my mom obsessed over General Hospital for 40 years. I need to find this article
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh my God, I am in on this right now, bro. I gotta see this shit. So many Max Scherzer retweets. Evan, what are we doing?
Man, I agree though. Hedo might really just take that leap, and I hope
he
finally becomes that top 6. It was just
no, I heard. Oh, I heard. No, he's predicted for the Leafs of the coach point. That fucking killed me.
Dude, all right. Where is this fucking projection? I need to see this article.
Look up ESPN player projections for the season. Just look that up. But we'll move on quickly here because we're already taking a bit. But ESPN projects for Mika Zibanejad. They were a little lazy. 37 goals, 52 assists, and 89 points. I don't know why they just subtracted 2 goals, but sure. Under Mika Zibanejad scoring 39.5 goals.
Ooh.
And I will go first. I am hammering, beating the shit out of the over on this one. Why? Because I think that Laviolette is going to make a difference for this team at even strength with the system that they're going to play. Plus, on top of the fact that Zibanejad scores power play goals at will to begin with, I think Zibanejad's scoring 40 this year easily, and I think he might even score 45 going over.
I really do think Zibanejad, I have the over too. I think he finds the 2019-2020 form again. I think he puts up mid 40 goals. I think he will go nuclear. We don't know who he's going to play with yet, but I mean, personally, I know you guys want, I know at least you do, Evan, want Lafrenière and Kakko up there with him. I think he should play with Panarin if he plays with Panarin on even strength, plus the power play goals that he gets. I think it's just going to lead to so much success for him, and he's going to have a big season. 100 points around.
It depends if Kane's coming back or not, because if Kane is coming back, yes, but if not, then I want it to be Kreider, Zibanejad, Kakko. That's what I want the first line to be. But Nick, what is...
Found it.
Yeah. If you want, I was going to do a video on this, reacting to it. If you want to do that video with me at some point for the full thing, we can.
So here's what it is. It's their fantasy hockey thing, bro. All right? And you could sort it by teams. And I promise they didn't miss the Leafs, bro. They didn't miss them. Let's see. Who does ESPN love? What's a hockey?
No, they missed a lot of the Leafs. I have them pulled up.
Yeah. I want to know, who do they love? Who are they infatuated with? Who are they giving the gluck to right now?
Probably the Devils.
Yeah, the Devils.
Over under 39.5 goals on Nick.
Oh, for Banana Dad.
Yeah. For Banana Dad, that's crazy.
See, all right, this is a really tough one because I really think the goal share. I think we're going to see a lot of hoping we're going to see a lot more goals from the kids. Butt crack. I think. Fuck me, man. Fuck it. You know what? I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Give me the over. Give me 43 for DJ Zibanejad this season. Give me 43.
I'll take
dad
that.
Becomes a dad too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna have that dad strength.
Papa Dad. They got Jesper Bratt at 74. Get the fuck out, dude. Like this.
How many did they have Dougie Hamilton getting?
64.
Okay.
We're gonna have to react to this at some point. We'll react to it.
The Devils have 1, 2, 3, 4. They basically, with Dawson Mercer 20, they got fucking 630 goal scorers.
All right, we'll react to this another time. God. We'll react to this another time. ESPN projects Artemi Panarin to get 23 goals, 57 assists for 80 points.
As much as
Over
we
under Panarin scoring 92.5 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As much as we shit on Panarin around here, I think 80 points is definitely a low ball.
Yeah.
I think he goes over. I do think he goes over. I think he'll give us high 20s, low 30s in goals, and then just his typical 70 assists around the 100-point mark again.
I'm gonna go
a very good player. We can't deny it.
Fair. Yeah. I'm gonna go under though, but ever so slightly. Just because of the fact that I really don't like if he's playing with Blake Wheeler and Vinny Trocheck at times, I don't think that line's gonna put up a lot of points, and I don't think that line will work one bit. And two, we just haven't seen Panarin really put up I'm hoping too that the team is as a whole is going to be more defensively responsible, and I think Panarin might apply that to his game a bit more and might be a little too passive at points throughout the season, and he's going to play a little more defensively responsible. So I think he's going to take a bit of a dip in points, but not anything significant. I still think he hits 89 to 91 points, just slightly under though for me.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm torn here because on one hand, he is just a menace in the regular season.
Yep.
He recently shaved his head, so he's bald now, so he'll be a little bit faster. He seems to be pretty upset about everything that transpired in the playoffs round one, and the fact that he was getting absolutely dunked online about how shitty he was in the playoffs and how shitty he's been in the playoffs.
Yep.
I feel like we're going to see a revenge tour. So give me the over. And I think for the first time in Panarin's career as a Ranger.
Oh boy. He's going to say it. He's going to say it.
Motherfucker's going to hit triple digits. And give me a 40-piece.
Whoa.
Wow.
A 40-piece.
Wow.
And that deserved to walk out.
I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but sign me up for that to happen.
We would absolutely be there front and center if that did happen, but
I'm camping for the parade if that happens. Wow.
we'll probably get that and then just a shit of the bed in the playoffs again, but
don't speak that part into existence. Off the subject, by the way, Joe Burrow just got an extension.
Oh, did he?
Making him the highest paid quarterback as we expected. Oh boy.
Oh, and he's got the jersey. I don't know, man. I wish I could have that confidence in him.
Yeah, I wish too, but we'll see. We'll see. ESPN's projection for Adam Fox: 11 goals, 61 assists for 72 points. Same amount of points as last year, and just one more goal instead. Over under Adam Fox scoring 74.5 points.
See, I think Adam Fox, I think he could just put up more than 15 plus goals in a season. I'm surprised, the last couple of years, he's only been in the low 10s. Maybe I'm mistaken, 21, 22. Don't recall the amount of goals he put up, but man, he obviously very special player who's becoming quite underrated at this point. If we all know that, what we see on Twitter.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Drew.
Exactly. I'm gonna go the over again here. I think Adam Fox puts up I think he'll put up high teens in goals and give you 60 or so assists. Go 80 points around.
Nick, what do you say?
I think we're going to see Fox hit 80 points this year. I'm going to stop stop him at 86. I think he's going to have an 86 point season.
I would be very, very happy with that.
I wish I could have that confidence like you.
We need the confidence. We just watched the Mets get fucked for 3 months. I need something in my life right now.
You know, okay? I'm gonna be gassing up the Rangers in a bit here after we're done with this segment, so don't worry. But I think he'll go over, but I don't think that high. I think he'll hit 80. I don't think 86 though. I think he'll hit 80 though.
85, I get it.
Yeah, 85, of course. No, but I think he'll be in the, I think 78 at worst and like 83 at the highest. But the one thing that's separate, like I think he's going to be hungry this year to put up more points offensively because he's getting robbed of the Norris just because he's not a point per game player.
Mm-hmm.
If he was a point per game player, I said this when I was reacting to it, he would have won the Norris last year.
Mm-hmm.
I know Carlson scored 100, but people would have put that aside and would have realized Adam Fox was the better all-around defenseman. And if he just put up a point per game, Adam Fox would have won the Norris last year.
Yeah, or was flashy like Makar.
Yeah, that too. Or like, didn't have a grandpa chin, maybe. I don't know.
I gotta take this jersey off. I'm fucking sweating.
I thought you were in Winnipeg. What the fuck?
No.
I wish. They won't let me in.
He wishes. Imagine wishing that. Let me in. ESPN's projection for Vincent Trocheck. I went proper with his name here. Vincent, not Vinny. Vincent.
Yeah, we all call him Vinny.
21 goals, 34 apples, and 55 points. That one I didn't think was egregious, so I set his line at 57.5 points. Will he be over? Will he be under? I will go first, and I'm going to say he is going to be under because I think he's going to be up and down the lineup a lot this year. I think he's going to get third-line minutes mostly because Phil Peedle is going to be so freaking good this year. So I have him in the – I think he'll get like 52, 53 points. That's my prediction.
I totally agree. I think he becomes the third-line center for the majority of the year. And as you said, Phil Peedle will step into that second role, 2C, and Vinny Trocheck gets bumped down just for that pure reason. You gotta say he's gonna be under. Power play, he'll probably still be on power play 1. But unless they go with Phil Peedle on power play 1, you never know. So I think that just the lack of opportunity just is gonna bump him down from that 64-point season I believe he had last year. I'd say exactly what you said, like around 52, 53, 54.
Yeah, that's about right. I'd be very surprised if he touched the 64-point mark like he did last year, especially because I think it's reasonable. Well, I don't know if it's reasonable to expect a diminished role. I think if he does have a diminished role and Heedle does take the step and the kids all take their steps and he does get pushed down, I think we see him settle around 50. I think if he remains the 2C and doesn't see a diminished role and gets over 19 minutes a game, like I think he averaged 19 something last season a game, I think we'll see another 65-ish realm point season out of Trocheck. But if it's a diminished role, probably around 50.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Which brings us to Phil Peedle, though. His projection:
Ninja Heedle.
20 goals, 23 assists, 43 points. For some reason, less than the amount of points he got last year. They think he's taken a step back. Or was it the same amount of points? It was one or the other. But over under Heedle scoring 51.5 points. And, I mean, I'm just going to keep this simple. I'm hammering the over. I'm all in on Phil Peedle this year. And I tweeted the other day, cannot wait for Phil Peedle to be the most underrated player in the NHL after the season. That's all I'll say.
I hope so.
I need that more than anything.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised we haven't mentioned that one yet.
That's a necessity right there.
Ready. Oh my goodness, that's great. But I'm smashing the over too. I think Philip Heedle goes off the season. We already saw kind of a breakout from him last year, but I think he just keeps building off of it. Clearly puts in that work in the off season. Unlike maybe someone else on this team that's a young player. But yeah, I think he goes for a really good season. 30 plus. I think he can put up 30 goals. I really do. Around 60 points.
Nick.
Joe Burrow just got
paid that contract was absurd. Yeah, we saw that.
$55 million a year. God damn. Some players won't see that in a contract in the NHL. Jesus.
Yep.
Give me for the Ninja Heedle. 32 goals, 24 assists, 57 points.
We will be there.
Most
We will be there.
definitely.
I would be there.
Most definitely. I think it's reasonable to think he hits 30 goals.
Yeah.
Especially in an elevated role, especially with power play time, especially if this dude was just working out like a maniac in the offseason and is swole and is skating better and is stick handling better and doing all those things better.
Yeah.
Unlike someone else. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I maybe my 30 goal dream is a bit of a
Oh no, I'm
reach,
drinking
but
the Kool-Aid. If he's getting power play minutes, I don't care. He's scoring 40.
dude, speed kills, and he was already strong as hell. If he's even stronger now and he's losing even less puck battles, whoo, could be scary. You know what? I think a good comparable is for Filipino right now, at least for points and on the contract he's on, is when the Rangers re-signed Derek Brassard, when he just started really popping off, and then he put up a couple of really high-scoring seasons, and then as he was becoming close to UFA, and the Rangers decided they can't afford him, we'll trade him to the next Mika Zibanejad. I don't know. Who knows? But I do think Filipino is going to bark off this season, and I'm hoping it's going to be in the 30-goal realm.
The only unfortunate part is he probably will still have like a 44% face-off win rate, so that's the only unfortunate part. But speaking of guys, though, that do the opposite, though, of going into the gym, Alexis Lafrenière, 18 goals, 21 assists, 39 points is his projection. So 39 points again. I just want to say, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy, if you're putting up 39 points again.
Yeah, those are
and also,
VC
I'm going to
numbers.
say that he's going to have to learn Chinese. I have the over-under for scoring 42.5 points, and I, unfortunately, am going to say under. I'm disappointed. Disappointed. Put the baseball bat down. Put the golf clubs down. Steve Valiquette said it. It's like the flirting versus harassment meme. When I say it, it's a bad thing, but when Steve Valiquette said it, everyone agreed. But just want to say that. But I'm fucking tired of it. You're seeing all these other first overall picks come into the league and mean fucking business, and you're seeing off-season workouts at the wazoo. Meanwhile, when Lafrenière got drafted, the only off-season video we saw, granted it was during COVID, so you could give him some of a pass, was him doing a fucking commercial with someone dressed up as a squid. So, I'm fucking tired of it. You're seeing Connor Bedard work out with Connor McDavid and other elite players in the league, and you're looking at him step in and be a leader right away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of you saw the story about what he did with Michkov, how when Michkov's father passed away, he reached out and said that he's welcome to stay at his house or whatever. Lafrenière feels like he got drafted first overall and said the job's finished. I could go home now. And that was it. It's fucking time. I'm getting to a point where I'm just tired of it. I don't give a rat's ass if he's a goofball in the locker room. Who gives a flying fuck? Not me. It's fucking time, and this is your third coach.
Yep.
You're going to get top 6 minutes if you earn it, and if you don't, well, first of all, you're 8th in even strength points per game in your entire draft class, Lafrenière. So,
yeesh.
Might want to step that up if you want to earn that ice time. That's first of all. Second, how much longer are we gonna give this guy a fucking leash?
This is his last season. I'd be amazed if he has another season where it's like, I'd say less than 50 points if he lasts beyond this season.
I'm just tired of it. I'm saying under, though. I hope I'm wrong, but I have no confidence with Lafrenière, and it's unfortunate to say because of how hyped I was when he was drafted, how I thought the Rangers were really going to get a generational type talent, and then
franchise.
Yep, and then now we're here talking about how
the dude struggles to put up even 40.
Yeah, now we're sitting here with going into his 4th year, debating if he'll get over 42 points.
It's depressing, really. I mean, it's just sickening. We don't see this guy put in the effort, and we see all this bullshit. Oh, he's not like he could enjoy his life, this and that. Yeah, we're not saying that, but we just never see it. We have an analyst saying it. That's the number one piece of
Mhm.
evidence we need that he doesn't work out and doesn't take hockey serious enough, clearly. So it's really disappointing, and I don't even know where we go with him from here. I don't know. This over-under is really tough. I think it's like 42, 43 points, and that is obviously not close to good enough. He needs to put up at least, honestly, 55 to 60 points for me to be somewhat happy.
I agree. And before you go, Nick, before anyone in the comments, oh, you must know Lafrenière personally. Tell us more about his life if you know so much that he's not working out. Athletes in the year 2023 post when they're in the fucking gym or working off the ice. Like, he's on social media. It's not like he's one of the athletes that's not on social media, like Kreider. Kreider should be on social media, though. But he's on social media, and he's willingly posting baseball things. I think that he would be posting hockey videos if he was actually working out and in the gym.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you go.
What's frustrating too is like you see so much raw talent that does emerge from time to time. You wonder if he really did try hard all the time or if he did put in the work. He probably could be a franchise player, but we just haven't seen it yet. We've only seen glimpses. We've only seen like the occasional play. You know, I can't remember, maybe like a handful of games this season that he looked like one of the better players in the game. I can't think of a time he ever took over a game or did anything that you'd expect from a franchise player. My heart wants me to say he'll hit the over on this, but my gut is saying probably more of the same of what we got these past few seasons, and he'll probably get the under, and maybe we'll get a second round pick for him or something. I don't know. I don't know what to think or what to feel about Laffy anymore. I just know that every time I try to invest hopes that this kid's going to pan out, and we've been doing this for 3 years now, we've been disappointed 3 times. And it's not even like this year in the playoffs. We're like, oh, he had a shitty regular season, but wow, that kid line really took off in the playoffs. Wow, he looked like a playoff player. He's a 16-game player. This is the guy you need to win with. He didn't have a single fucking point in the playoffs. He had the same amount of points as Ben Harper. He didn't do shit in the playoffs. He was unnoticeable. So it's like he's not even doing that for us anymore. So I don't know what to think of him. All I know is right now he's in a bad spot.
And even in that conference finals run, like, let's be real, he wasn't the main character of that line. Like, we know that Philip Hedl ran that line, and Kakko also was one of the guys. Like, he was just the Artem Anisimov to Patrick Kane and Artemi Panarin. Like, he was far from the main character. Like,
He was.
We know it. I know when he scored that goal he gave against Pittsburgh, he gave main character syndrome vibes there, or MCS as we like to call it. But I don't know.
Sucks, dude. Like we've gotten to the point now where there's tweets coming out like, well, maybe he could be a good role player. We're talking about the first overall fucking pick. Like, oh, he's going to be a good third liner. Great. Let him do that shit somewhere else. Fuck. If he's only going to be a third liner, trade him while his fucking value's good. God damn, like, we don't have enough guys that don't deserve to be on the third line anyways. Like, I'm so sick of it, dude. He fucking, like, first overall pick. You're supposed to be the face of the fucking franchise. And I'm just going to repeat what I said. We've seen plays of it. That's it. We haven't seen a fucking period of it. We haven't seen a game of it. Fucking plays.
Yep.
Why? Like, the same thing with Kakko too. Like, at least Kakko hasn't taken over a game yet, but he's taken over periods and he's done shit. And
at least
he looks like he's trying. He looks like he's fucking
when
trying.
He's not, I say it all the time. The difference between the two is when Kakko's not producing, he's still doing little things on the ice that help out the team. Lafrenière, he's not noticeable. He does nothing for the team when he's not producing. He doesn't bring any value to the team.
I want to know what's going through his head. Like, does he not want to be with the Rangers anymore? Does he not care anymore? Is it cockiness? Is he depressed because things haven't gone his way? Is he fucked up over COVID like a lot of young people were? Like,
I think it's a mix of all. I really do. I think that I really think him.
Well, you can
getting
make the same excuse for other
overall,
people. Then you can make the same excuse for 100 other guys.
I mean, no. I mean the first few arguments. The COVID thing.
Yeah.
That argument's gone. Like that ship has sailed that ship has sailed from last year. Like,
I agree.
Or even the year before. That ship is long sailed. But with him, like, I really think it's a matter of cockiness. I do. And it's unfortunate, but I think that he got drafted first overall. He had the title. Like, he was basically cemented in as the first overall pick since he was, like, what, 15, 16 years old?
He scored 40 goals in his rookie year as a fucking 15-year-old.
Yeah. He's been cemented as the number one pick for that draft class since, like, day one of him stepping on the ice. And I think it built up some cockiness in him, and it's got to his head. And I'm tired of people making excuses about coaching. Like, yeah, I agree that David Quinn and Gerard Gallant were not great coaches. This is not me defending them by any means. But at the same time, if you're a generational talent, show me something, man. Like, at least with guys like that are top players in the league and things like that, like Panarin, like, at least I'm seeing him take over games at times, like beyond idiotic coaching. He's still actually taking over games, putting up points. Where Lafrenière, it's nothing from the guy. It's painful to watch, and it's just sad how, like, we were talking about back in 2020 when the Rangers won the lottery, and it's like, oh, this would be the perfect asset to throw in a Jack Eichel deal with some prospects, and we were losing our mind saying, no, you cannot trade this guy. Lafrenière is going to be so special that he might be as good as Eichel, if not better, maybe. Like, that's the conversation we were seriously having in 2020. Like, we can't trade Lafrenière and prospects when he might be better than Eichel, right? Like,
we didn't even want to do it straight up.
Yeah. And I think Laviolette will help him, like Matt saying in the chat, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Like,
it's just sailed
for a
the
first
ship.
overall pick. I'm sorry. I can't accept just a 60-point player. I can't.
No, that's not good. Unless he's like the best two-way forward in fucking existence, or a defenseman. But he's neither one of those. So,
yep.
It's fucking infuriating. I just don't get it. I really like, and of course, the first overall pick that we get. And dude, like, you saw the thing the other day. Like, he's the first overall pick to get bridged after his EL season's fucking Nail Yakupov. Every other first round pick has done so well. They've gotten their big contracts. They got their big payday, and Laffy's on a fucking bridge prove it deal. That's how bad he's been.
Yeah. And if that tweet doesn't fire him up, which clearly it seems like it hasn't, because we have not seen one bit of footage of him on the ice outside of saucing up some 10-year-olds at the local rink.
Oh my goodness.
So it seems like that tweet hasn't motivated him one bit. I don't know if he didn't see the tweet or if he just doesn't care or what, but what are you doing, dude? Like, I'm sorry. I know we don't know the guy personally before anyone in the chat gets mad at us for saying all this as if we know him personally. But, like, I just want to know, like you said, Nick, what the fuck is going through this guy's head? He's fumbling such a big opportunity. You had an opportunity as the first overall pick to come to an original six franchise for a team that has had a 50-year cup drought, has only 4 cups, the least amount of cups out of any original six franchise. You had the chance to come in here for a franchise that has not had the best players either, be the leader of the franchise, the face of the franchise as a first overall pick, have your name engraved on the cup, in the rafters and everything, be the commander of this rebuild, put a C on his sweater and everything. That's what we were talking about when the Rangers won this lottery.
Yep.
That's why we were all going ballistic when we saw that stupid fucking ping pong ball shoot up. And we saw the logo. Because we thought we were getting a guy that was truly going to be, we were going to look 20 years from now, and that was going to be the guy that gets his number retired. Yep. He was going to be the guy to lead the Rangers in pretty much every category. Like, that's what we thought we were getting. And
we haven't
I'm sorry.
A lick of that.
And yeah, exactly. Haven't even got a lick of that. And I'm sorry. Like, sure, you take a 60-point player, but at first overall, no, man. No,
Nope.
I'm sorry. No.
Like a 60-point player is like, oh man, how awesome would it be if Othman panned out to be a 60-point player every year in the NHL, in and around 6 points? That'd be fucking awesome.
Exactly. For
Say about like a
16th
late
overall
first
pick,
round
yeah.
pick. You know, like our mid to late pick. Like, oh, we'd want that at a Heedle. We wanted that at a Kraftstoff. Not the first overall franchise player, especially not when guys like Stutzler are putting up fucking 90 points.
Nope.
Yeah. It's one thing if he's putting up like 60 points at even strength and everyone's like, oh, he needs power play time to get those points up. And it's like, all right, yeah. Yeah, because maybe he will get 30 power play points, 60 even strength points, and he's a 90-point guy. All right, now we're talking here. But he can't even put up, like, he could barely put up 40 points.
Like, seriously.
Hasn't put up 40 points.
He
And some of
hasn't.
those points were on the power play this year.
Mhm.
And this is supposed to be a franchise guy. And even 90 points, like, for a guy that was as hyped up as Lafrenière was, like, I know that that's an extreme to demand an 100-point season from a guy, but that's the type of talent he was labeled as, man. I'm sorry, but even 90, like, if he ends up being a 90-point guy at this point, I won't complain whatsoever. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But for a guy that was labeled for what he was, 100 points, he should have been penciled in for an 100-point season at least once in his career.
Yep.
Yes.
You would hope.
I think everyone really gets fooled too by his flashy little between the legs play every 3 months that he does, and just point to that one play and be like, we can't give up on him. Like, look what he does. Like, okay, he does that one special move every 3 months, and we don't see anything else from the guy. I'm sorry. Everyone has a justified right to lose faith in him at this point. It's really tough. I hope he goes out there and puts up a freaking 70-point, 80-point season somehow and proves us wrong, but it's just most likely a Mike Tomlin AB moment.
I said, like, put like, at this point, I want to be on Old Takes Exposed. I want to look like an asshole. I want to go back and look at this like, wow, these guys are fucking stupid talking about Lafrenière like that. I would love nothing more than I would be the poster boy of fucking stupidity on for shitting on Lafrenière. I'd love nothing more for him to prove me wrong in a Rangers jersey, but I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think that 12 months from now, we're sitting here talking about Lafrenière being on a different team.
What we're gonna get for him?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that within like 10 months we're gonna be talking, maybe even a little less. We're gonna be talking about a trade. I mean, I wonder if he's even a piece that they use at the deadline this year to open up a bit of cap.
I feel like there have to be a really big player available for that, or a big prospect available.
I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. The Rangers are thin on cap, and if he doesn't prove it, you're going to trade him in the offseason regardless. He could be gone by the deadline. He could.
It's not impossible.
And if I mean, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't pan out, I'm gonna be devastated.
And who knows? Maybe there will be
unless we're talking about, you know, us going to opening night in 12 months from now with seeing the cup banner raised. But outside of that,
oh god, I fucking hope so, dude.
Outside of that, if we don't win the cup, if the Rangers don't win the cup, and Lafrenière doesn't pan out, I'm going to be. God's even gonna cry. Like, it's gonna be raining outside because even God is so sad. So it's just disappointing that we got here. Nico froze.
Yeah, we're back.
Did you hear my my quote meme there?
Oh, what was it?
I was saying that if Lafrenière doesn't pan out, it's gonna be raining the next day because even God is so sad.
That's a perfect use of the meme. Because sadly, that's probably gonna be the truth. It's gonna be the truth, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's sad that we're here, but there are still two more things that I wanted to get to. I mean, one of them is brief. The other one was probably going to be a deep conversation. Do we jump into that or?
Yeah, I'm running short on time. Let's do the deep one.
The deep one?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, the deep one is, where are you guys feeling for the Rangers? Where are they finish in the division? Give us a prediction. I know we're going to do our season predictions later.
Third.
Where are they finishing?
Third in the Metro.
Third in the Metro. Nico.
So tough. I literally think they could finish anywhere from first to third, and I won't be shocked, but I'm going to go second.
Who do you have ahead?
Ahead of them, I'm going Jersey. And then the Rangers.
I'm going with the Rangers in second, behind the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think the Hurricanes win the President's Trophy this year.
I could see it, but I think it's going to be the Leafs, just because of the fact that I don't think the Atlantic Division's too good, and they're going to get to play those teams a good amount.
I didn't even think about the Atlantic. Kind of got worse, dude. Panthers got worse. The Bruins got worse. Senators got better, but I don't think they pose enough of a threat quite yet. Detroit's going to be better, but I think with the big horses down, I think Toronto's going to have an easier go of it. I just think the Hurricanes are stacked. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hurricanes went out and finished the season with like 125 points. I think they're that fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels just disrespectful, honestly, for me to have the Hurricanes not top two, just because it's so hard to ignore what they've done the regular season the past few years, and
they
especially
added
with them getting Bunting, Orlov.
Dude, you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
imagine being that fortunate, dude. Like you were already the best team in your division, and you got 2 players better.
Yes.
Like a legit top 6 forward.
Stretch is coming back.
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
they find the fucking money.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the division's gonna be so close to top 3, in my opinion, within all like 5 points. So tough.
I really, I don't know. I just think that with Carolina, it's their division to lose. They're the Braves in my mind. I've been saying it, where you can't say they're not going to win the division until you see it happen. That's always been my mindset with Carolina lately. And even though I predicted the Rangers to win the division last year, I am going to go with Carolina and go with them until they do end up losing the division. But I think that New Jersey is going to take a step back this year. I really do. I think that you could call me a homer. You could call me biased. I really don't give a shit what Devil fans say to this, but it's the truth. They're not winning 14 games in a row again this year. Everyone forgets that they won those 14 games in a row. That was a huge part of them finishing second place. Everybody forgets about the fact that Andrew Brunette stepped in and he's out of the organization. He was a huge part of that coaching staff that helped them take another step, because let's be honest, Lindy Ruff's not a good coach.
No.
We know this. And I question how they're going to do it throughout an 82-game season without Andrew Brunette to help that offense out. I really do. And then on top of that, too, I think certain guys overachieved, especially Dougie Hamilton. And then the biggest overachiever was Vitek Vanacek, who cooled off at the end of the year. I don't think he's a good goalie, and hips don't lie. Shakira is not a good goalie either. They don't have the goaltending. So I don't think New Jersey is going. I think they'll be third, because I think that up front they have too much talent to not be, but I think their defense is a little spotty, and I think their goaltending is also very. I don't think there's a debate that the goaltending is spotty, and I just think that they're kind of how the Rangers were last year, where they came off of what they did and what they accomplished last year. They didn't go to the conference finals, but they made noise last year, and everyone's like, all right, this New Jersey's going to be a legit threat this year, and I think they'll be a threat in a few years. I just think they're still peaking early here, and I think they're in for a huge surprise, and I like the fact that the Rangers are more under the radar this year than they were going into last year. I think that's going to help. I think they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulders. Kreider's saying it himself, so I'm hoping that the entire team follows it, and I think that I really believe in. Again, call me biased, call me a homer. I'm believing in Laviolette here. I'm a believer. If the Rangers could I know that they had some things go right for them in that conference finals run, But if they could get to the conference finals with that fraud Gerard Gallant, I think that they could easily go to the conference final again, if not further, under Laviolette, who is a far, far and away better coach. Because why have we not talked about also the fact that Gallant didn't land a job?
Oh, that's right.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
Gallant didn't land a job.
Yeah. Not anywhere. Not even in like an advisory role.
No, not an assistant coach. Nothing. Because the guy's a fraud.
Interesting.
Statboy Steven said it perfectly. He's the perfect interim coach because he'll go in there and tell the team to go out there and have fun, and you get ice cream at the end of the game if you play well. Like that's just the way that things were ran here, and I think things are going to be different because New Jersey should have been put away after those first 2 games.
Yeah,
we're not talking. Nobody
is
is talking about New Jersey the way they are right now. If the Rangers take care of business and finish spanking them the way they should have. Because we all know it. Gerard Gallant, the only thing that he could adjust is his pants when his fucking nutsack is uncomfortable. Like, that was the only thing he could adjust. He couldn't adjust for shit. The Devils made one small adjustment, and all that was playing more passive, like they did in 2012 against the Rangers. And it worked. I think that the Rangers are going to be... I really am drinking the Kool-Aid this year. I'm a sucker, but it's hard for me not to be when they have... It's really going to be a matter of 1, coaching, and 2, these players buying in, and then also guys that have not stepped up in the playoffs, like Panarin, stepping up this postseason, because we know what Igor Shesterkin could be. We know, and he's the backbone of the team. I don't think he's going to be as inconsistent as he was last year. February was rough for him. And I don't think the Rangers are going to come out of the gate slow like they did last year, too, which is why I have them finishing second. They
started like shit last year.
To the point where they were 1 loss away from Gerard Gallant being fired in December.
I remember this. We were talking about selling at the deadline. I had that tweet of Bedard in a Rangers jersey.
Yeah. And then Trouba throws his fucking helmet, and that's our hype up, the start of the hype up video for the Rangers. Like, that should not be the case. And the no quit New York bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
that shit was so stupid. If that comes back, I don't know what I'd do.
I'm trying to bully the Rangers out of taking out of their bio.
You're the leader of it. And you're doing a hell of a good job because I haven't seen it recently.
Dude, Evan was like, yeah, we're going to start a movement. We're going to start a dialogue.
Yeah, that dialogue is going the fucking distance right now because I am so tired of the no quit New York bullshit. Like, it just pisses me off how they slapped it everywhere too, as if it's something to get the fans into it. Like, no, nobody gives a rat's ass. Like, you're the same organization charging $70 for those poor tourists to come to New York City and not realize they're spending $70 on a game that doesn't mean anything. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Only to go to the garden shop and spend like $50 for a fucking mug.
For a foam
they made
finger.
It like not even a good mug, like cheap ceramic, like fake ceramic. Fucking God, what a fucking joke. Everything about the Rangers is pissing me off. I was so happy a minute ago, and I'm in a bad mood talking about the Rangers again because I know we're in for just fucking 6 to 8 months of just fucking pain and disappointment and torture and stupidity and waiver claims that suck and play in the fucking lineup every night and Lacardio getting minutes and all this stupidity that we know is going to fucking happen, but we're going to pretend like it's not. So when it does happen, we're all surprised, like, oh, who would have thought Laffy still fucking sucks? Oh, why is Lecision still in the lineup? Oh, he's doing great. No, he's not. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is I'm ready for just the downfall of the century.
Nah, I'm confident going into this year.
Cautiously optimistic.
I was for a minute. I said fucking Panarin's going to have 100 points. I don't even know he's going to get 10 points.
It's tough. Like, the Devil series gave me a sour taste in my mouth, but there is things to look forward to. The new coach being the main thing of it. So hopefully
Laviolette has a lot of pressure on him, man.
Yeah,
like, this
really
is
does.
And if these players don't respond to him, changes have to be made.
And
I'm telling you right now, we're sitting in this spot 12 months from now.
Either a way different team.
We're either talking about a different team, or we're preparing for opening night where the Rangers are coming off of either a conference finals run, a cup run, or we're ready for opening night, we will be there with the cup banner going
opening
up.
Night.
We will be there with the cup banner raised to the rafters with the similar team. So this is a huge year. So if a lot of guys really want to fucking stay in this organization, they better fucking prove it. They have a lot to do. Like I'm looking at you, Panarin, especially. And Lafrenière. Panarin and Lafrenière are the two main guys I'm looking at where it's like, let's go.
Me too.
I think that we need to make ourselves a promise. I think if the Rangers reach the conference finals, we all have to tweet "No Quit New York." If they don't, I think we have to tweet "I've quit on New York."
Oh yeah. if we don't get to at least the conference final,
I've quit on New York.
I'm not tweeting "No Quit New York" no matter unless they win the cup. I will not tweet "No Quit New York."
You wouldn't take another conference finals run at least. I mean, that's top 4 teams right there.
I would take it
because then you have a chance. Then you have a better chance of winning it all.
I would take it. Don't get me wrong, but I refuse to let my thumbs type that out unless I'm tweeting to get rid of it. I refuse to let my thumbs type that out for a tweet unless they win the cup. If they win the cup, I will gladly tweet in all caps, "No Quit New York." I will.
Let's up the ante. If they win the cup, you have to buy a "No Quit New York" flag and wave it at the parade, and then hang it in your fucking room where everyone can see it for every video.
In my Jake Lecision jersey.
Yeah. And you have to wear. You're right. You'll have the Lecision jersey and the "No Quit New York" flag, and you're gonna wave that at the fucking parade. If they win, you have to do that.
I'll do it.
Yes.
Maybe not the Lecision jersey, but I'll wave that flag. I will gladly wave that flag if they end up winning. I don't give a shit at that point.
Dude, we're gonna see like going in and not this season but the next season. Evan's gonna be one of the flag runners whenever they score. Like every time they score, you see him. Oh yeah. No Quit New York, yeah. He's handing out like fucking like Madison Square Garden freebies to all the little kids. Oh, here's a foam puck because we can't afford real ones. That's $1 billion corporation. Oh, welcome to the game. Here's the game pamphlet. Here's the game notes. It's a fucking not even on like good paper. It's on loose leaf. The fucking Usher's kid just wrote down who he thought was playing, and they just fucking printed copies off it. Here you go, asshole. Thanks for coming. Oh, $300 ticket. Here you go. Boom, boom. Not even a staple, like staples hanging out. So you cut your finger every time you flip the fucking page. Love MSG. $1 billion fucking corporation.
And I can't wait to spend $70 on preseason tickets to look at the Chase Bridge.
Yeah, we will not be there for that.
No. I'll check the Jumbotron. Don't worry.
No, yeah.
Look.
Be like your popcorn. Aren't these seats great, hun? No, I can see everything from here. Yeah. No, look, there he is. Oh, look. Sam! Hey, can you see this? No, yeah. No, this is sick. I love these seats. $135, cheapest in the house. Ticketmaster. I got the no fees deal.
You lean the other way? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you. I just couldn't see.
Dude, like everyone's like nuzzled up on each other's laps. Like, oh, sorry, you mind if I on your right thigh? No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, this is nuts. You got the one.
Actually, you know what? This is kind of comfy. Let me get on both of your thighs. Can you get on both of my thighs?
Dude, like you like laying this way. You got your legs up on the jerk off next to you. No, I can see great. No, this is awesome.
They might so set up fucking like beanbag chairs. They're like sleeping bags for everyone to fucking cuddle and the seat.
Well, dude, they got the 36-inch bendy straw, so you don't spill your beer. You got the beer coming down. I got it. No, yeah. What? No, another Lecision turnover. What? No, it's just Kreider. He took another minor penalty. We're losing 7-2. Hey, Laffy scored though. 7-3. No, they're calling it back. Never mind. I'm having fun. Let me have fun. Take your Nirvana shirt and lay down. All right, come on. Let's talk Rangers real quick. All right. Well, no, that doesn't fucking help. How many points is Kakko scoring this season? No. How many? 100? Wow.
Wow.
We will be there.
We will be there.
Need that one more than anything.
What'd you say?
Fucking hate
Need
the
that
Roach.
one more than anything.
Oh,
These seats are just so great.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This
What
is
an
great.
experience.
Oh
Did
my
you
god,
get-
I can see everything from here.
Did you see they got M&Ms there now? $13 a pack. You can't beat it. No, don't
Yeah.
worry. They're melted.
Yeah, and there's only like 5 in the pack.
No, this beer was $25. Don't worry. Room temperature.
I'm just enjoying it before the liquor license goes. Wait. Oh, no, I can't see there. Wait. Oh, yeah. No. I can't see behind the net. These seats are just so good that I can't see behind the net. Oh. What happened?
Dude.
Oh, Vinny Trocheck took his game-lead penalty? Oh, shit.
Oh, no, we're just 10 seconds to a power play. He just took a penalty for us.
How many pims is he up to? Oh, 100 on the year? Oh. Oh, shit, now Trouba's fighting. Oh, fuck. Wait, he's fighting Connor McDavid? What? Oh, no, I read the jersey wrong. That was actually Leon Draisaitl. My bad.
God. I think that was... Oh, well, you know, Joe, Adam Sikora is making his NHL debut. Jerks. Listen to those two for the fucking season. Listen, I love Sam Rosen. But that dude, like, people are just now catching on to that. He's been the same guy for like 30 years. Like, he's been lost for about 30 years. People are just noticing it now.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's definitely getting worse. When he said glove saved by Zibanejad last year, I wanted to cry.
That
Bad.
I could point to just like 3 things in specific. Calling Patrick Kane a Vander Kane. It's another one.
When he said Frank Vetrano scored instead of Trocheck.
Oh my God.
We were at
yes.
that game, though, so we didn't hear it
Right.
Yeah.
That was
on the
right.
broadcast.
Dude, you got to, like, if you want to get a good laugh, every now and again, if you're watching it on TV, as they're going to commercial break, don't walk away. Don't look at your phone. Just listen closely. You'll hear every now and again, you'll just hear Sam say something, drop something, do something. Like, there was one we were listening to one time, and they were going to commercial. It was a long one. It's dead silence. And all you hear is, ooh. It's all you hear, ooh. My dad's like, what did Joe Micheletti just fucking tickle his asshole? What the fuck was that? And like, he's like, I'm telling you, it's. I'd say like every 10 games, you'll just hear Sam make a weird noise as we're going to commercial break. Dude, I'm telling you.
He does during the Cadillac trivia question, like when Joe gets it right. Oh!
Ooh.
How'd you know that one, Joe?
Yeah. Well, you know.
You know,
fucking
Sam.
idiot.
You know, Sam. Yeah, I know my hockey. I promise I'm not cheating.
No.
All right, Joe.
All right, Joe. Sit down, Joe. God almighty. We can just get the worst everything.
Joe kills me, though. The way he
You know, we're gonna
signed the
miss him,
bottom
but-
of my hat, though, fucking pissed me off.
He's in the bottom of your hat?
Yeah, I saw him outside the garden, so I had him sign my hat. I could go to the bank with this hat. I'll show you his signature.
I gotta see this shit, dude.
I have some other autographs on here, but look at this shit. Like, all of that right there is his autograph. From here,
Oh
or
my
from,
gosh.
from there to there is his autograph.
Way.
He did the hook.
Yeah. And then Trouba, for whatever reason, just was like, yeah, fuck Joe Micheletti, and just signed right there.
That's funny.
And he threw a helmet at you while you were walking away.
I'm surprised he didn't throw the hat like the helmet.
Like, oh, you want it? Fuck you. He fucking lobs it. God almighty. What fucking bullshit, dude.
Fucking Joe. Right there. The first right there of the season.
Oh my God, yeah. There, Sam, there.
Right there. No, my favorite is when he thinks he's timing it well and he just goes, right
And they just sitting there paused.
there.
And then like in like a circle, but like it's not even like a good circle. Like it looks like a fucking figure 8. Not like it looks like a number 6. It's just so demented and fucked up, and then it loops back around. Or how about like somebody misses that? Oh, it's in. Oh, I think he hit the post. Well, Sam, wow.
Goal by Frank Vetrano. Sam, I actually think that was Vinny Trocheck that scored it. You're
Oh.
right, Joe. It was. That's Vincent Trocheck.
Dude, they gotta bring in some more personalities, dude. Like
I really do, because I fucking Joe, like he just says the same shit. You know, Sam, I talked to Lecision before the game. He's super amped up, and he's just a great guy. Everyone loves him in the locker room, and just such a great guy, a hard worker. He really skates out there, and he's put it all in practice, and just a great locker room guy, and just a hard worker.
The waffling is crazy.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, at least Valaquette has a personality. Like, we need more personalities in the fucking, in the post game, the pre-game, the period break. Like, dude, like bring in get weird. Like, bring in Sean Avery every now and again. Bring in a little fucking flow. Let's get weird. Let's get someone that's gonna be like, what the fuck did he just say? Because it's gonna make you think about it. Like, give me something fun. Like, I need something to look forward to. It's like in between.
The post game, I don't have an issue with who they have right now. My issue is
the post game.
True, but I would sometimes for Valley. That's about it. But
because he's the only interesting person. Like, we haven't had an interesting personality on there forever. And like, I love having Lundqvist is fucking awesome. You love having Lundqvist on there because he's kind of entertaining too. But like, God, give me a little entertainment. This is why TNT is the most I live for Rangers broadcasts on Rangers games on TNT because you're getting the funniest. Like, you're getting, not only is it informative, but it's fun. It's fucking funny. They do stupid shit and it's entertaining. Like, if hockey had more of that, more people would watch it. Like, I think the NFL. I can't believe I'm complimenting the NFL. The NFL is doing great with bringing fun personalities. Like, dude, I don't know if you guys have watched the Manning cast, but that shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, the Manning cast is getting me into watching stuff about football beyond the team I root for. Like, I think the NHL needs more of that because TNT right now is the only win the NHL has.
Yeah, it was so much better with the Cup on TNT this year versus ESPN last year.
Mm-hmm. It's awful.
But it's going to be on ESPN again this year.
We'll see.
The NHL is going to be freaking wild between being on ESPN and the Fanatics jerseys on the ice. Not this season, but next season.
Oh my God, fucking trash jerseys too.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we spend $150 on when the Chinese knockoffs are better. But yeah.
I'm sick. I'm gonna fucking make a DHgate account, bro. I'm not fucking buying a Fanatics jersey. What the fuck do I look like? A Fanatics jersey. You go on Fanatics, oh, I forgot to get this guy a gift. Well, let me see what's on sale on Fanatics, and that's what he's Fanatics for. That's literally it. It's a fucking joke. Bring back Coho instead of fucking Fanatics.
They are. I've never seen such a. They're so ass. It friggin' boggles my mind how they can't even make a good hat. Like, the Stanley Cup merch, if you just look at it, is just so trash. Part of that's also because the new Stanley Cup logo sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's terrible.
So it's partially on the NHL, and I don't know why also they got rid of the NHL text on the Stanley Cup text on the ice also.
Right.
That's another dumb thing, but Fanatics is just fucking brutal.
Well, dude, that's like here, you guys from the north, and okay, you're like, it's like going to Food Line instead of going to Aldi's, right? Like, you're going to something that's already second rate, but you're going to second rate, arguably third rate to get your groceries. At that point, just go to Walmart. Or I don't know, I guess Walmart's in New York are kind of trashy, a little bit different down here. But like, just go somewhere, go to Costco, go to BJ's. What are we doing at fucking Food Line? These Aldi's across the street. If you're gonna go second rate, go expensive second rate. It's a fucking joke. Fanatics. No one wears or buys Fanatics.
Except for people except for the people that just don't give a shit for whatever reason. But like,
it's cheap and easy. See, like, if you're an uninformed parent on sports, you're like, oh, my kid wants his jersey. I want to buy him a real jersey. Oh, Fanatics. Wow, that's a really cheap compared to a really good quality jersey. Fuck it, give him the Fanatics jersey.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I fucking miss Reebok because, like, at least the authentics and the replicas were not too far off.
Right.
Where with this, it's just fucking bad. Like, you're getting ripped off by getting Fanatic jerseys. Even
the Adidas jerseys weren't bad. They grew on me.
Yeah, Adidas I didn't love at first, but they definitely grew on me also.
At least the fabric, they felt a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
and they were a little bit more stretchy. They weren't like strong. Like the Reeboks and the Cohos were so meshy. You know, these had a little bit more. Yeah. They flex them around a little bit. I actually really ended up liking the Adidas ones.
Yeah, same with me. And we will not be there for Fanatics.
No. And they're just gonna raise their prices now too. It's not even like the quality's gonna. The quality's gonna stay the exact same. Actually, it might even go down. They're just gonna fucking charge you more because
no. What's gonna happen is the price will go up on the retail jerseys, and the on ice jerseys will be the exact same as the Adidas, but they're only gonna sell the shitty Fanatics ones probably. And if that ends up being the case, I'm just not even gonna buy. I'm just gonna buy 2 blank jerseys, a home and a road, right now, and then that'll be it. I'm just not even gonna bother.
It's actually a good idea. Well, dude, I bet you if you go on Adidas's website, you could probably get like overstock jerseys and just have like so on numbers and shit for aftermarket. We really need to. I can't believe we're talking about going to these lengths. That's how bad the NHL is at picking a jersey fucking manufacturer.
Yeah,
like that's so bad.
It's just fucking sad. It pisses me off. There are times that I wish that hockey wasn't my main sport. I love it, but I'd be employed right now if like full-time employed and everything if I was a football fan and doing this for football.
100%.
Because just the game's so much bigger and they actually know how to market it.
I gotta call it here, boys. I gotta go.
Yeah, the last thing that I was gonna just bring up the brief thing. Michael Del Zotto, Carl Hagelin retire.
MDZ.
The end of an era, end of childhood. I was at that game where Carl Hagelin scored the overtime winner to clinch that series against Pittsburgh. So that one hit home a bit, and especially because I brought him up in my PTO video too. And he ended up having to retire because of injuries. Unfortunately, he still had more years in him, probably, but
100%.
Yeah, that
was two guys whose career ended way too soon. I mean, Adam Fox is living out the career we all thought Michael Del Zotto was going to have. Let's be honest.
Yeah, if Del Zotto played, if he started his career in today's era, things probably would have went better for him. A lot better.
He was so good. And he was physical too, dude. You remember? I don't know if you guys remember, but in the 2012 playoffs against Ottawa, I think it was Game 6. He fucking laid out, flattened Chris Neal. It was either Game 5 or Game 6. Fucking murdered him, and that was a turning point right there. Fucking Del Zotto was awesome, dude. What a shame things didn't work out, dude. He got too involved in the party life and Tortorella, and just bad timing. Just bad timing.
Yeah, and it's a good thing. Good thing though with Hagelin, they did good work there with that trade and got Emerson Edom, a really good player there for the Rangers for multiple years. Arguably had a better career as a Ranger than Carl Hagelin, so at least they did right there. Carl Hagelin didn't go on to win cups or anything afterwards.
No. He didn't have much success.
No. He was just, a fringe NHL player, 13th forward.
Something like that.
Wasn't, part of one of the more noted lines, in hockey. Just
no.
Wasn't part of a big third line that won cups.
No. You mean a third line that had a name that was derivative of certain Shawn Michaels of the WWE? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, no. The only third line I know is, Brassard, Pouliot, Zuccarello. That's the only third line I know. Best to ever be on the ice. Yeah.
No. You're talking out of your mouth. No, there's no such thing. He didn't win shit.
We're fucking insane. But we're going to wrap up the episode there. Next week, not going to be an episode, but we will be there right before preseason, covering preseason. And then we will probably do our predictions as well for the season in that next episode, because we ended up having a lot to talk about here. So I'm glad we got to everything. So, yeah, we're going to wrap up the episode here. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and we will see you guys in the next one.